while playing. That's
We can
fine.
talk
It's
ocean
true.
lore, but there's a different kind of lore, Kevin, that I think is very important
Oh.
to mostly me, and it's the Stephanie Meyer lore.
Well, wait, are we live yet?
Oh.
Should be live.
Are you talking about Midnight Sun? Is
Oh,
that what you're talking
oh
about?
yeah, baby. This baby showed up today, and
Sure
I
is.
haven't
It
touched
sure
it
is
yet.
pomegranate-y, huh?
Oh yeah, it's a juicy boy on the cover right there. Shiny, juicy pomegranate boy.
Yeah.
I hate it.
It is thick.
This is a thick boy.
God, it's thick.
650 pages. It has no right being this long. It's twice as long as the first book.
If it's as enjoyable as I want it to be in my heart, then yeah, I want it to be double long. Hey, Maddie.
So the length difference, it's not that the plot is different, right? Like the same
No.
events happen.
Well, it's a Ender's Game, Ender's Shadow situation.
I've not actually read.
Oh,
either.
damn. All right.
Well, this is the one from Edward's perspective, right?
Yeah,
Right.
it's the first book, but from Edward's perspective.
But that's what I'm saying. Like the same events are occurring.
Yes,
Ultimately, yes, and because the bit that was leaked online, I would say about 10% of it happened in the book, and the rest of it was Edward reacting.
Oh yeah, he just sits around and feels. I have not cracked this bad boy open and read any of the pages.
AOG.
Oh, hails, yes. You all
Okay, wait. Let me say. So, Kevin,
Okay.
think about it like this: Bella is a human and has to sleep for 12 hours a day.
Okay.
Edward doesn't have to do that.
So the book is twice as long
necessarily.
because Edward does twice as many things.
Also, there's a lot of in the first half of the first Twilight book. There's a lot of times where Bella goes to school and he's not there because
Right.
Hi,
he's not
James.
there.
Because he doesn't have to
Hi,
go.
James. Because he's panicking
Sure.
off screen. But she like goes to school and she's like, Edward wasn't here today. So you get two sentences where it's like, I got excited and I went to school and Edward wasn't here today. Tomorrow, right? So now we get what was he doing?
I've read her dedication, and I've read the first two sentences, and I am over the moon.
What is the dedication?
So let me start with the cover page is like a famous statue of like people almost kissing, and I'm like delicious, delectable. Okay, Jams. All right, so the dedication, and I feel like I won't get taken off of YouTube later for this. It's dedicated to all the readers who have been such a happy part of my life for the last 15 years. When we first met, many of you were young teenagers with bright, beautiful eyes full of dreams for the future. I hope in the years that have passed, you've all found your dreams and that the reality of them was even better than you'd hope. Stephanie Meyer! Please, you know it's 2020. You published the book this year. Why would you write that?
Yeah, hey. I guess she announced it this year too, so she could have been like, we gotta pull the dedication.
You can change the dedication up till the print run, and like print runs probably happened, or like, you know, they decided paperweight and stuff. This is something I actually know about. So they decided all that stuff already, and they just had to pick a printer who's got all that stuff, so the files really only had to be ready like a week before they printed, at most.
God. Yeah.
So, like, she had plenty of time to fix this. Oof. Alright, well, the reason that I haven't read the book any further is because we would not have a stream tonight. I just talk about this book. So we're gonna put that over there. I'm wearing my Inuyasha shirt today because official Inuyasha stuff has dropped. I've got my Final Fantasy VIII poster and a jean jacket on because I'm just a high schooler again. I've decided.
It's good. Embrace it.
Yeah. So I'm just living my best life in 2020 that I possibly could. Nostalgia.
And when I was in high school, I was really into Kingdom Hearts and Phoenix Wright. So here we are.
Here we are.
I just never gave it up.
Well, I was into Naruto, but...
Well, that got bad, but also so did Kingdom Hearts. So,
we can't win them all.
I have not been following the adventures of Naruto's son.
Boruto.
as far as I know, you're good. I don't know anyone who is following the adventures of Boruto.
Maddie, it's because I never posted it. That's why you can't find it.
Although I am like very amused by the idea that there are like new people coming in. By people, I mean humans, like new humans being born who see Boruto and like have no idea that his dad has his own TV show.
I think it's I enjoy that like I don't know. I'm the kind of person who I'm not like you haven't heard of cassette tapes. Like it's much more like yeah, thank God you didn't have
You
to
were
live
missing
through
much.
this. You didn't have to rewind VHS tapes before you took them back to Blockbuster, and you know what? You're better off for it.
Yeah. So no,
True.
it's not Lost Forever. I did have to do some editing to the Anime versus Plausible episode of the stream we did because Twitch thought I was going live for like 17 hours.
Yeah, that was a weird one that
So
day.
I was able to cut it and edit it, and I made a new thumbnail for it, but I just have not posted it. I think I'm gonna post it in a couple weeks when I have to go to a wedding and we can't do the stream. So
That's at the end of the month,
yeah,
right?
that's
the
not for a
28th.
couple weeks, but so we'll remind you guys later. But just as a preemptive FYI, August 28th, I'll be at a wedding, so I can't bring the podcast to a barn and stream at a barn while someone's exchanging their eternal vows for each other.
Is it a night wedding?
It's
Night
like a
ceremony?
3 p.m. wedding, and it's a dry wedding, so it's not like there's gonna be a lot of drinking and then everyone has to get kicked out at 11. But I don't know what's gonna happen, so we're just gonna see.
You certainly can't stream from a wedding reception, so.
They've got to kick everybody out at night so that the cows can come back to the barn.
I would think so, but like, I mean, it's gonna be hot. It's August. Where the cows are gonna want to stay outside all day? I don't think so.
Good point. You're right. The cows should just be in the wedding.
I am for the cows hanging out. Although I guess cows smell bad. I think cows probably smell, huh?
Do they? That's what people say.
Yeah, I guess that's not a problem you would have, Kevin.
I think most.
I'll hold a wedding anywhere.
You can officiate anywhere.
That's true.
For the low price.
Jam says they smell really bad. I think most animals smell bad. I don't know if you've ever met an animal that doesn't smell bad.
That's the impression that everybody's given me, is that they've not enjoyed the smell of any living animal.
There's stuff smells like a barn for like, you know, the phrase smells like a barn.
Yeah.
But I've been to petting zoos and shit, and it smells bad.
Yeah, I'm legitimately, I'm like, there are animals I would say that aren't offensive to smell, like they aren't offensive smelling, but like they don't smell good, right? Like there's not like you're like, oh, pass me that ferret, I want to. Oh, it smells so good. Like no, no one says that about any animal.
Yeah. RD says their school was opposite a cow field that smelled so bad. So yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate, but
I do know that cows can be very loud because I had previously dated someone and was on the phone with them. They were in Maryland at the time, and I was like, "What is that sound?" And they're like, "Oh, I have my window closed and I'm on the second floor. You can hear that?" I'm like, "Yeah, what is that?" It's like, those are cows screaming, and I'm like, "Oh." The reason they were screaming is kind of sad, so I won't go into it. But like, I was like, "That's crazy. Cows are really freaking loud." Which I guess if they're so big, they would be loud.
Yeah, I mean, I'm also in the Midwest, but I have not had the pleasure to just be on cow farms or cow
That's
fields.
a Jessie thing, where Jessie had traffic on her way home one day because a bunch of cows escaped their pen and then were just standing in the street, so she couldn't go home.
Jesus. I
guess.
Don't put that on a mug, Mop Up.
A peek behind the curtain of the last episode, though, is I had to edit out 15 minutes of talking about dark animal pig things. So we're just going to continue that today. Kevin, what do you have? Draw it away from terrible animal facts.
You want terrible animal facts?
No, I don't.
Oh.
We edited out the terrible animal facts. What were you going to say? Do you have terrible animal facts?
I was just going to say that I'm lucky that I grew up in the corn Midwest and not the cow Midwest.
Oh, yeah. I guess. I don't know if that's lucky or not.
Well, the corn doesn't do anything.
I was firmly in the corn and soybeans Midwest. It's true.
It's true. Your mom still lives right next to them soybeans.
There's really just like the big menacing windmills. That's about it.
That's
We
a
didn't
good
have the
movie.
windmills yet. I love those fucking
I
things.
know they're
You
great.
do?
I
They're
do.
really- They're really intimidating when it's night.
They're very cool and American Gothic, like sort of like future, neo-future, but agrarian horror. I'm into it. Driving down the highway in Indiana and having just fields of those during the day, cool. At night, horrifying. I love it. I love it so much.
I feel
The
like
thing
I've
that
grown up in the bougie Midwest. I didn't have either because I lived in like suburbia. We didn't
Yeah,
have
you
either.
lived in suburbia.
Yeah. They don't build windmills there.
No, they don't. I don't have cows. I don't have corn. What am I? I'm a
You
sham.
you lived in the part of suburbia where people would like go vandalize the 7-Eleven for fun to feel something, right?
I guess so.
Like, I'm not saying you did that or know anyone who does that, but all of the books about anyone who wants to escape
Yeah.
and go somewhere else, that's where you're from.
Yeah. Well, that's what I did. I left and I went to the city.
Yeah, but you lived 15 minutes away to Chicago. You see, like, what the difference between leaving 3 states away.
Yeah, I guess I'm just bougie as shit over here.
No, you're middle American as shit. That's fine.
Yeah, okay. I'll take it.
Wear your jean jacket and you listen to your metal and you try and escape. It's fine.
It's true.
Yeah.
Still trying to feel. I'm
As far
very
as whether
excited
I-
about this Inuyasha, like, Boruto thing, though. I was like, this is gonna be stupid, and then any art that comes out, I'm like, num 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 num. Oh, that shit's good. Who fucks your Shomaru? Just like really important questions.
Here, my answer for you is nobody. He like cellular divided.
That's probably the only way he would be happy is if he cellular divided.
My answer
honestly.
for you is Kikyo before she died when Inuyasha was stuck to the tree. Watch it happen. I'm putting my money on it now.
Oh my
He
God.
fucked Kikyo and then, like, just to spite his brother.
I mean, there's like a 3-minute window between where he was stuck in the tree and she died. So, I mean, could have happened. I'm not saying...
Or he did it before. I don't know.
I don't-
It's, you know.
Maybe?
You look like Inuyasha's type, he said.
There's so... I mean, I got questions and I've got some answers, but, I've got to finish reading Midnight Sun, which will happen very quickly. Inuyasha, the thing is, like, I can't tell you I recommend Inuyasha, because, like, I can't say that it's good, but it's important and formative for me.
Yeah. And it definitely is an important historical stepping stone on the journey of anime normalization in America.
Yeah, so that's all it is.
Certainly.
I forget that we're also like 10 to 15 years older than everybody else who listens to this podcast, so there's also that.
That's okay. That's part of the, like, Boruto's dad show thing, is like, y'all don't, I'm not gonna shame you for not
No.
having to live through the Toonami times. In turn, I should not be shamed for living through the Toonami times when other people had to get, you know, hard-coded VHSs that they manually subbed, right? Like,
Yeah, I know
there's
some of
lots
those
of-
people.
yeah, there's like it's like been a slope to get anime normalization here, and so it's cool. I didn't watch all of Inuyasha. I've only watched half dozen.
I don't know how
of
far I
them.
got you, because we got busy at that point.
Yeah.
But, you know, it's one of those shows where it's like, hey, Inuyasha was important, formative. You could probably skip it. If you're gonna watch show, watch FMA, but watch Brotherhood because it's better than the first FMA. You know, like, there's like... Michelle and I can be objective about the things we like, at least.
Yeah.
Like, should anyone read the Twilight series? If you want good literature, no. But if you want a good time,
Just a
great
Fucking
time, just a
roller
good
coaster.
roller coaster of emotions and writing, Stephanie Meyer's got your back.
Apparently, we got RD and Jams to watch Hash What You Playin', and if you watched Hash What You Playin', let me tell you about a little podcast called Dungeons and Daddies.
Oh, I was listening to it before we started because I'm finally getting onto my backlog.
Get in Dungeons and Daddies. Anthony Birch is the dungeon master, and it hits good every time. And the minute you're like, this can't possibly continue to hit, it hits harder.
And see, yeah, we got James to watch Princess Bride, and that one I say is like, it hits differently when you're watching it when you're like either at home sick or you just like don't feel very good. Whether you're just like, does someone recommend this movie? I'll just watch it. Like it's like a tender movie for you. You know, it's a good movie. It's got good bones. It's got good structure, but it's a tender movie.
That movie's got good bones.
It's got
That
good
movie
bones.
is good bones. But we should play this game because now it's been 15 minutes.
I can't see it anymore.
I can't either.
Sorry, because we have been talking. My mouse died into the duration of us reminiscing about how we are old. Hold on, let me get you guys back up.
Oh, here we go.
There we go. Yeah. There we go. Let me see if my mouse is, remember it's alive again. So let's, alright, I guess we could start. This is Object to This. Normally an Ace Attorney fancast, but this time we're playing Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney Investigations Prosecutor Path, the second game in the series that's not localized in America. I'm Stephanie, just living my best life.
I'm Michelle, I got good bones.
I'm Kevin, the windmill over the corn.
And we're coming back at you. This is case 3, Inherited Turnabout. It says it's the end.
Part 3.
I believe in us. I think we will finish this case today.
I think so too. I think we will start the next one.
We are about to start with some logic chess. Bow, bow, bow.
Yeah,
You'll love to see it.
We've got our sugar sculptor cornered, and he's gonna have to admit to some things.
Oh yeah, this is the last part of the case for real this time.
All right. Yeah. During the contest 18 years ago, Mr. Gustavia collaborated with Mr. Dover. I wonder, what made them decide to cooperate in the first place? That's what I need to draw out from him, but...
I had so many chess pieces.
It seems he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. First, I'll ask about why he collaborated with Mr. Dover.
Excellent question.
The truth has been hidden for 18 years. That ends today.
Logic chess, begin.
Hey, why'd you collaborate with Mr. Dover?
Sir Dover and I were already acquaintances, even before the contest began. Our kids went to the same school. Since he was interested in the contest, we simply decided to enter it together.
Of course, as with a sculptor, you weren't confident in your own abilities.
You know nothing about me. We wanted to make great works together.
I will reveal all your lies for what they are.
Is that all? You bore me with your empty threats, Sir Prosecutor.
I need to be careful not to make careless statements.
So I guess we gotta find some info, some.
I think we took the opposite thing, that we should press when he's meditating.
That makes sense. I just didn't think I'd get punished so hard. So I shall wait and see.
You're confident. ...
Sir Dover's son and my own attended the... Remember, they went to the same school. You have that picture. We got along well from the start. We went to the PTA meeting.
Really? So were you going to share the title of World's Greatest Pastry Chef together?
Ugh.
The animation in that second made it look like he was gonna jab that in his eyes, and I got very scared.
Yeah. Chad is playing a game called What Was Your Favorite Song from the Year That You Were Born? And I want you to know they're very young.
Complicated by Avril Lavigne is a bop, it's a jam, it's a slam. I don't care what you want to call it, it's a good time.
Photographed by Nickelback is too.
I love that song, and I'm not ashamed.
Alright.
I think we made the wrong choice.
Oh, fuck my.
My condition may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary.
I should pay more attention to what I'm
Wait.
doing.
I was too passive there.
So we only have two options, and
Yeah.
one of them is.
Well, we were supposed to press on that one.
Oh, I see. Okay.
He was quiet and meditating, I thought. Oh, so
Right,
we were
which is
supposed
when
to
we press. We press when he's meditating.
I need to pay better attention, that's all. Why'd you better just
Okay, why'd you do it?
We're best friends. That's weird. I said we're best friends.
Wait.
Wait and see. My kids were best friends too.
Really? Best friends?
Okay, so he's
There we go. Okay.
just gonna
Hey.
scream "wake up" at him. That's what real prosecutors do.
As expected, he pretends to meditate when things aren't going his way. Mr. Dover was a sculptor. I doubt he had any interest in the title of world's greatest pastry chef. In that case, where did his true goal lie?
Indeed, my goal was the title of the world's greatest pastry chef. However, Sir Dover's goal was the grand prize, an angel's recipe.
The angel's recipe.
I see. You cooperated because your interests were aligned. But there must have been a reason why your partnership soured.
Sir Prosecutor, I am the victim of a poisoning. If you're going to suspect me in this manner,
Shink.
perhaps I'd better return to the infirmary.
Wait a moment.
In that case, you should end things soon. I am not a patient man.
It seems he's trying to leave. I can't let that happen. He's still hiding something. Next, I should ask him about his true goal.
Oh, thank you, oh kind and forgiving game.
I need to keep the pressure on him while being cautious of the time.
Another goal? Yeah.
Do you have another goal besides the title? The title alone doesn't seem to have much value.
Ugh. How dare the likes of you insult the title of a confectionery artist? My only goal was the title itself. I had no interest in anything else. My dream was to become the world's greatest pastry chef.
Wait and see.
Dot dot dot.
18 years ago, I was lacking in design sense. However, things are different now.
Oh? Are you saying you have improved at your craft?
Exactly, for I have trained at the Republic of Zangfa.
Dot 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 dot.
Yes, yes. At the time, I also studied Mr. Master's works. I would often watch his show with my son.
So, you were studying Mr. Master's work to improve your own skills. If you had his recipes, perhaps it would have been easier for you to become the world's greatest.
Perhaps. To a pastry chef, Sir Master's recipes were worth their weight in gold. Dot 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 dot.
You were interested in his recipes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Heh. If becoming the world's greatest pastry chef was your goal, you should have also been interested in the grand prize, the angel's recipe.
Ah, the recipes of the world's greatest pastry chef. I would be lying if I said that I wasn't interested. However, I wouldn't think that simply being interested would make me, or would be a problem. Would make me a suspect.
I wonder about that. The angel's recipe's true nature was not for making desserts, but cures. And all of the contest participants should have been aware of that.
Ugh.
Looks like I'm getting close. He isn't meditating anymore. Now to slowly but surely drive him into a corner. Next, I'll ask what he planned to use the recipe book for. This recipe. Do you know it with its true value?
Silly question. It contained Sir Master's best dessert recipes. Any pastry chef worth their salt would want it.
Seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Maybe I should try another line. You intend to win the angel's recipe and use it to make desserts?
Of course. If I obtained the angel's recipe, I was going to use it in my training.
The angel's recipe was worth a lot of money.
Ugh. I don't know the exact details, but that recipe book was much too valuable to be sold. Ugh.
You seem to know a lot about them. Because he was meditating again.
Yeah.
I seem to know quite a lot about the angel's recipe.
Ugh. It was explained to all the contest participants at the beginning of the contest.
The slow speed is
It's killing you, I know.
it's killing me.
In that case, you must know about the recipe book's true nature. That it was not a recipe book for desserts at all.
Ugh. Impressive, Sir Prosecutor. So, you know the true nature of the angel's recipe.
He was asleep for most of this case.
Yeah.
That's true.
The angel's recipe. Some have called it the ultimate recipe book. It contained formulas for new medicines that were not yet on the market.
Ooh, the recipes were actually for formulas for new medicines.
This is just not how this works. This is stupid. Okay, move on. That's
This could be a useful clue. The angel's recipe. Did you know its true value? I already know the answer.
Silly question, you already know the answer.
Looks like that glue will come in handy. You may have studied design in Zhang. However, your skills in lying could use more work. You just said earlier, the angel's recipe contained formulas for medicines.
Ugh. Ugh.
You weren't interested in desserts. You wanted the medicine formulas.
Da 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 da. Did you need it?
he didn't give us any indication how to be a pharmacist, so
Yeah.
No. Why would a pastry chef such as yourself be so interested in medicine? Perhaps what you were really after was the information about the new medicine?
No! Ugh, I've underestimated you, sir, prosecutor.
I'm sorry he was making these noises also.
Ugh. Yes, my goal was more than just the title of world's greatest pastry chef.
Nobody in this contest wanted to be in this contest.
At the time my son was ill, I needed the recipe for the medicine.
He couldn't taste
I-
stuff?
I mean, if he wanted to, your son was ill. Tell me more about that. If he wanted pastry chefs to join the contest, the prize should have been cooking related.
Yeah, you'd think.
Anyway, tell me about your ill son.
To protect my son's honor, I can say no more.
Judging by the worried look on his face, I must have struck a nerve. Next, I need him to tell me more about his son's illness.
It's a HIPAA violation. You'll never get it out of me.
Is it? This will be my final move of the game.
He probably won't tell me.
What's the name of your son's illness?
Ugh. Sir Prosecutor, how insensitive of you. My son was seriously ill.
It wasn't only that he couldn't taste things. I would not be discussing this with the likes of you.
Seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Try another one. I must read
Maybe
my opponent's reactions and so
The
on.
only cure?
Let's go with that one. Seems like a softball.
It does,
Yeah.
but he might be like, it's my son. He
Ah,
loves
my
his son.
boy! It's my son! He
My
loved
boy.
the desserts I made and could totally taste them.
Chad has moved on from the song that was released the year you were born to the game that was released the year you were born, and I think that's a more fun game.
It is fun, but also RD is as old as the GameCube Wind Waker release, and I remember the day that the GameCube Wind Waker release came out because everyone pre-ordered it to get Master Quest. You don't even know what Master Quest is, probably, so...
I'm just taking a quick look here, and I haven't played any of the games that came out in 1990, but Dr. Mario's
wait.
apparently a good time.
Are we talking about... Are we doing a quick Google?
I'm just doing a
Yeah,
quick
I'm
Google.
looking right now.
Super Mario World came out the year I was born, Final Fantasy 3, Solid Snake, Metal Gear 2.
Oh, I've got too many.
There's a lot of good games, but I've never played any of them. So I'm gonna default to
There's-
Fire Emblem.
God, there's too many good ones. For me, top of the list here, Sonic the Hedgehog.
It's a pretty good one.
Nice.
Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past. The only Simpsons game anyone cares about, the arcade cabinet one. All were at 91. Are we doing the exact day or are we doing the
Oh, I just
year?
did the year. I mean, if there's a game that came out on the exact day of your birth, then I mean, that's cool, but... I don't think mine is popular enough.
Okay, I'm looking up.
What do you got?
All right, so for me, it's Mega Man.
Mega Man.
Mega Man. Oh, and Final Fantasy.
Which one? The first one?
Final Fantasy.
The final of fantasies, huh?
Go.
Nothing came out on my birthday, but Final Fantasy IV came out 7 days after my birthday, 1 week later.
So between you and me being born, 4 Final Fantasies happens.
That's true, yeah.
Well, Final Fantasy 3 I think came out in Japan the year I was born, so I don't
That's true.
think it was out in America yet. So who even knows? I guess between our births, they were like, maybe Americans will play this.
Damn, Super Mario World also came out in 91. Shit, a lot of good stuff came out in 91. Monkey Island 2, Castlevania 4.
Oh.
For me, also Legend of Zelda, original Metal Gear, Maniac Mansion, Punch Out,
Wow.
Castlevania 2.
Guys, we're just classic games now. That's all we are.
We're just classic. Pick your flavor. I have to be Sonic the Hedgehog, huh?
I mean, no, you are, like, we ourselves are classics. So,
Well,
we
that's
are
true.
Sonic. But not the movie, the original. Anyway, Gustavia loves this boy.
He loves my desserts.
For the contest solely for your son.
Sir Prosecutor, you could never understand the feelings of a father for his son. I'm gonna remind you that you're an orphan. I wanted nothing more than to cure my boy's illness.
...
Until the semifinals, my son would always drop by the contest venue to play.
So, wouldn't he get in your way? I thought you had time to care for your son while you were challenging Mr. Master.
That may be so, but I wanted to grant my son's wish. He said he always wanted to be the first to eat my desserts.
It's so mean, Edward. Your son sounds pretty healthy to me.
...
Ugh, my condition
Oh.
may be worsening. I should get back to the infirmary.
I guess we were supposed to hit him on that one.
Passive. Alright, well, that's.
We were supposed to say, what were we supposed to say? Your son sounds pretty healthy to me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
apparently.
That's rude as fuck.
It sure is. But I guess we're trying to nail him to the wall, so. See.
so mean.
About your son. If he was so sick, wouldn't it be difficult for him to come and play with you?
This is so mean.
Wow. In Edgeworth, Miles Edgeworth says invisible disabilities don't exist.
Oof. My son's illness, it wasn't life-threatening.
That might serve as a clue. Hey, what was the illness?
He's turning into Sebastian.
Well, because he's
acting like-
If you act like the best, you get the best.
Oh, looks like that clue.
That's me. Looks like that clue will come in handy. You told me your son's illness was not life-threatening. Is there really a need to be so secretive about it?
Oh my god!
I know that Edgeworth is doing this to get a rise out of him, but like, boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
It's seriously nasty.
Yeah,
Oof,
like
oof, oof.
we've talked extensively about how Ace Attorney is, got problematic
this.
things about it. I would say Edward turning the screws to a man about his son's illness is probably the worst thing we've encountered in this game, besides the prison system being complete chaos.
Yeah, this game's been pretty tame so far about it, but yeah, this is gonna be the big oofa doofa.
Paducah.
Aside from prison reform, yeah.
Right.
It was enough to keep him from living a normal life.
That must have been difficult for your son.
I tried everything I could to cure his illness.
But he wouldn't stop liking dehydrated celery.
It wasn't fair to the poor boy.
So what, we put him down?
He could never taste the desserts he loved so much.
Oh god. Oh god, don't no. I
No,
think it
don't
was
wait
due to
for
the
me.
taste disorder, but we were ogoting that second one.
It was probably the first one, but I got freaked out.
Oh god,
So sorry, I'll have to go back through that.
I know there was a timer, it's okay, but
No, you're right, it was the first one. I knew it as I was clicking the wrong one.
But yeah, the idea that for Edgeworth to say like, oh, if an illness isn't life-threatening, then it's not private. Like, Edgeworth, what kind of logic is that?
Yeah.
It's bad.
If he loved the desserts and he enjoyed them in his own way, why were you trying to change him too? Taste disorder, yeah.
Well, also just like, my boy wanted to be the first to try each of my desserts, and it's probably because he wanted to make his dad happy,
Yeah.
and he wanted to, hopefully this would be the one he could finally taste, but like, he loved the dessert so much and couldn't taste it, so he had to be there. Like, there's like a little bit of a weird logic through line on their part also.
Yes,
Yeah.
there is.
Yeah.
The angel's recipe contains a cure for a certain illness. A remedy that could also cure Mr. Master's taste disorder.
What? He had it too?
He had it too? I see. So your son suffers from a taste disorder.
I didn't think he'd figure it out so quickly.
In order to cure your son's taste disorder, you needed the recipe book. Wasn't that your true goal?
So here's the thing, Kevin, like, you don't have a sense of smell. Like, we've established this.
This is true.
Do people say you have a smell disorder? Does anyone say that?
Nobody's ever used that phrase, no.
So I wouldn't call it a disorder.
I mean, certainly no one said that. You could call it that if you felt like it, but I wouldn't.
It's just weird because I mean I've watched so much cooking shit, right? Like, so when you're talking gourmet chefs, they do taste is important and they focus on that, but they also focus on texture and how everything feels together, and there's multiple ways of tasting things aside from just taste. So the fact that this guy is a gourmet, world's greatest pastry chef, and he's just like, I want my son to experience desserts in the exact same way that I do, otherwise he is disordered. Real fucked.
Well, okay, so I will say that, like, calling it a disorder is like a medical term, right? So like,
Yeah.
Like, I think a doctor would say that I have a smell disorder.
That's true.
Even though you're right, I don't like that term necessarily.
This man is a pastry chef.
Yeah.
And Mr. Master didn't realize he had a taste disorder until we, a lawyer, were like, hey, does that taste salty to you?
Yeah, I guess it's just weird to me. But I think this is kind of a Ace Attorney generalization problem more than anything.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. None of us have medical degrees, and Jessie's the closest we got, and she's not here, so I can't ask her.
She's not here.
But maybe we'll ask her in time for the podcast recording of this chunk of game.
I just also keep thinking about this kid. Like, if you were a kid who didn't have a sense of taste, you'd be the coolest kid because you could eat, like, you could down hot sauce, man. Like, you would just be like the fucking raddest, coolest kid on the playground.
Hot stuff can actually affect taste.
It's pain, right?
Right.
Pain
Yeah,
receptors.
like the capsaicin just bypasses taste entirely. So, and I say this as a person who's felt capsaicin's effect on my nose, that it's not the same thing.
That's true.
I have to find my way to get you those Thai chili peppers out of my fridge and into your home, Kevin.
Yes, please. Send me what you've got. I just want to feel.
Well, you know, with Midnight Sun here, you could definitely feel a wide range of emotions.
So you finish Midnight Sun by the weekend. You can drop those Thai chili peppers off at Kevin's and then drive to my house and give me my cake pan and Midnight Sun.
Sounds good.
Just a cake of Midnight Sun.
It's a good plan.
You're never supposed to return a Tupperware or like a casserole dish empty-handed, so this one will just have a book in it instead.
Yeah, there we go.
Alright, let's focus.
Sorry.
Sorry, I got derailed. That was my fault.
That's alright.
Alright.
Otherwise, we're back to Edgeworth, the least sensitive man.
Right, yeah.
Alright.
It is as you say.
Based on how he's acted up until now, it appears he's still hiding something. It seems I don't have enough clues to proceed with this line of questioning. Guess I better go ask a different question.
What was he like? Oh, yeah, the only cure.
Did the Angel's recipe have the only cure?
Yes, though the medicine is being sold everywhere now. At the time, the recipe book was my one and only option. That's why I continued making my desserts without joining the others for tea time.
So you weren't interested in what Mr. Master was making? You seemed confident in your chances of winning.
I couldn't be bothered to pay attention to the other contestants' desserts.
Get him.
No, I didn't get
Oh
it.
no!
I panicked.
That's okay.
I keep panicking.
My condition may be worse than.
Okay, sorry. Sorry, Edgeworth.
Don't apologize to Edgeworth, he's misbehaving.
That's true. I am the one cure. Yeah, it's popular now.
You said it earlier that you studied Mr. Master's works. In addition, if your goal was to win the contest in order to get the medicine formula, you must have been curious about the other contestants' entries as well.
There was time to sample the other desserts during the contest, but none of their entries had any flavor. So I didn't want to eat any of it.
Sick burn.
I suspect I may have been nervous as well.
We know from Delicia they have tons of flavor. She ate everything.
Does he also have it? Does everyone have it?
Apparently.
Except Delicia.
So everything he ate tasted flavorless.
Do they all have the Rona?
This could be a useful clue.
The name, yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so we just zoom on through this.
Oh, whoa.
Taste disorder. Yeah.
Remedy a bit of blood.
What? Oh yeah, Master Edit 2.
Yep.
Get a 2.
Mapbox says no one can taste and no one actually cares about this competition is what I've learned today.
Literally, it was Delicia just wanted to eat stuff. I know she wanted the book, but she mostly wanted to eat stuff.
And we're all corrupt, says Jams.
It's true.
It is as you say.
He's still hiding some.
Looks like that glue will come in handy. Being unable to taste anything, regardless of what you eat, is a bitter illness. Reminds me, didn't you say something similar earlier? None of their entries had any flavor, so I didn't feel like eating them. Wasn't it? Perhaps your son wasn't the only one who suffered from a taste disorder.
Ah!
Try to imagine being a successful pastry chef without a sense of taste. Perhaps what you really wanted was to cure yourself.
That's completely ludicrous. 18 years ago, I made those desserts all by myself.
Okay.
It wasn't, you must have worked hard then.
It seems you've caught yourself in a contradiction. Didn't you cooperate with Isaac Dover in the contest? You can hardly say you made the desserts all by yourself.
No.
You must take great pride in your abilities as a pastry chef. But to betray your pride and cooperate with another contestant, you did it all to cure your own disease.
Well done, Sir Prosecutor. It's as you say, the one with the taste disorder is not my son. It is I.
So I thought they cooperated because Dover was a sculptor and this guy was bad at design. So are you telling me that this guy's bad at flavor and design?
That's what they're saying.
Sure, Dover probably didn't know that at first.
And isn't he like a sugar? He's like a sugar artist, so he doesn't need to taste it. It's sugar.
But he was
Right.
bad at that too.
Well, like the thing they keep saying about like pastry chefs need a safe sense of taste is like, well, no, that's why you follow a recipe, right? Like it's
That's
a pretty
true too.
it's a
Yeah.
pretty consistent like skill that you could practice, and you don't need to like eat every single one to make sure it tastes right.
Right.
So I don't know. I think Edgeworth's making a lot of biased assumptions about what goes into these things.
It's true, but this is also the kid who grew up eating dry celery. So what does he know? I know we made that up, but it's probably true.
As he watched MSNBC. Yeah, this case is confusing. Everyone's confused in chat. This is a confusing one.
At least the problems I had about why does your son come and eat your pastries then makes a lot more sense because he was lied about it. So
The son could taste it.
Yeah.
Oh, and so he wanted to taste the desserts that his son loved so much.
yeah, and his son could be like, "Papa, it needs more sugar
Yeah.
because I'm 12 and that's all I want is more sugar."
And clearly Master was able to make good desserts, albeit they were a bit sweet.
Yeah.
Right.
But he was made desserts good enough to get a TV show. I feel like this is Ace Attorney saying we want to make these people sick so that there's some stakes to this case, right? They need to get the cure, but we also don't want it to be too much of a bummer. So we're going to make it that they can't taste anything.
I mean, it's not the worst.
Yeah, I mean, it's good.
Sure.
I mean, the method in which we're getting there is not great, but
Yeah, we'll talk about this at great length whenever we do the podcast on it, I'm sure.
I guess it's good that I didn't go into any profession that would require me to be good at smelling. But
Yeah. I feel like there's not that many professions that require you to be good at smelling.
thankfully not.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to think of one.
I would think it would be something where you'd have to
Like, wouldn't
Set
like
up
a wine
gas lines.
connoisseur?
maybe. I was thinking gas lines or if
Oh,
something
yeah.
where smell could be an alert to you if something was malfunctioning.
That could be pretty dangerous.
Yeah, but probably like a wine person. Smelling seems important for wine. Sommelier, that's what that wine person is called.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
At least that's what everybody tells me about wine. I have to believe them, I guess.
I drink trash wine, so
Yeah, we drink sugar sugar trash wine and it's a good time. So
I also do that because what do
Yeah.
I care?
Pico Man plum wine, man. That's where it's at.
cheers
Heck
to
yeah.
that with my Coke Zero. Clink.
All right, let's keep going.
All right. Bitches, ho ho ho.
No one knew. I've kept it a secret for 18 years.
Doesn't matter how long a secret is kept. If you lie before me, I will expose it. Dane Gustavia and Isaac Dover were both trying to obtain the recipes for new medicines. Gustavia had a curious condition, and Dover most likely to sell the recipe book for money. For this reason, they entered the contest as a collaborative effort. And with that, checkmate.
Look,
We did it.
it's complete. It only took an hour because Stephanie's bad at chess.
Well, because we stopped and talked about it.
Also,
That's true. There was a lot to
Ugh.
unpack going on there.
I have never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago.
Developed it?
taste disorder?
It was a severe disorder. I was unable to discern any flavor at all. It's the one illness a pastry chef dreads above all.
Those symptoms sound a bit different from Mr. Masters' taste disorder.
Mr. Master's condition is known as hypogeusia. It simply causes a decreased sensitivity to certain specific flavors. I'm sure it has caused Mr. Master such pain, too. After all, no medication is available to cure it in 18 years ago.
In order to cure your taste disorder, you would need Mr. Master's Angel's recipe. And that's why you entered the contest. Am I correct?
That it was one of my goals, but I still had my sights set on the title of the world's greatest. When it comes to making desserts, I won't lose to anyone. Even without the ability to taste, I still have the utmost confidence in my flavors.
Oh. So I presume you also prepared your desserts in the finals with the intent to win?
Ugh. That goes without saying.
According to what Mr. Shields told us earlier, the evaluation of Mr. Gustavia's entry was... Up until the semi-finals, Mr. Gustavia's flavors and design were to my liking. Unfortunately, both the taste and appearance of his finals entry left much to be desired. Seems the dessert you made for the finals was not rated highly in regards to flavor.
Ugh.
Mr. Gustavia, you will tell us about how you made dessert during the finals.
Very well. It seems I must teach you upstarts a lesson.
We're going into testimony now. The end, part 4. Dessert for the finals.
Kevin, I've just realized your Mr. Master's voice sounds like the guy from the spoken parts of the Monster Mash.
It does, doesn't it? It was a monster mash.
That's a good voice.
It's not a bad voice. It just hit me when you were doing it just now.
I'll take it.
Sorry, that's just a complete non sequitur, but very good.
Sir Dover and I cooperated until the finals. I handled the flavor, he was in charge of the design. However, for the finals, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills. I helped Sir Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame. How about that, Sir Prosecutor? Testimony 101, 18 years old.
I can't find any contradictions in his testimony because it's very straightforward.
Well, of course he isn't going to fess up that easily. This guy's been on the run for 18 years after all. Tasting everything. Guess we'll just have to keep pressing him until he breaks, eh?
Yes.
Well, that's your job, bye.
Thank you, Raymond.
Desserts for the finals. An essay by a crook.
Cooperate till the finals.
I actually done did a murder, can you believe it?
So Mr. Dover took care of the design, while you handled the flavor.
Sir Dover was a sculptor by trade. His sense of design was splendid. But he was just an amateur chef. We combined our strengths by working together. You never did have much of a design sense, did you, Mr. Gustavia? The fuck?
Spin, spin, spin.
That's Phoenix, right? I mean, what do you think of this?
Huh. That's the Sybil of Zangfa.
Oh.
Wow! A phoenix! Right? That is really good!
Whoa, you really have improved these past 18 years. Behold the fruits of my 18 years of training. I've put my life and limb on the line for my dessert skills. It's true that I cooperated with Sir Dover 18 years ago, up until the finals. However, I wanted to challenge Sir Master with my own skills.
So, curious about the title of world's greatest pastry chef?
Yes, confectionery is my life. Naturally, I wanted to be the world's greatest. But back then, I was still inexperienced, and I was no match for the better chef.
But your goal was also to obtain the angel's recipe, right? Wouldn't the recipe book be worth more to you than the title?
Ugh.
Courtney, when did you get here? I've been playing chess for so long! I will not stand by and watch you badger a convalescent man like
A convalescent man? He's standing here doing great.
My gavel shall protect you, Mr. Gustavia.
I realize he's still recuperating, but
Mr. Gustavia, do not yield to this devilish prosecutor. Now then, please continue with your testimony.
Convalescent, as far as I know, means like bedridden. like terminally ill. Are you Googling it?
Hell yeah.
Everyone in chat is like, sees the Phoenix, starts thinking about him.
Yeah.
Did you just talk about him?
The straight definition is a person recovering from an illness or an operation.
Oh, okay. I just only see it in extreme circumstances in books. It's not ever like when I think of convalescing, I think of somebody who's got TB and has been sent to a farm somewhere for the clean air because they're going to die of tuberculosis.
So, according to Wikipedia at least, it refers to the later stage of an infection disease or an illness when the patient recovers and returns to previous health, but may continue being a source of infection. So yeah, exactly what you just said.
Yeah, a convalescent home, right? That's what they were called back when
TB was a thing we didn't know what it was quite yet.
Yeah, and typhoid, right? Typhoid Mary. They tried to send her to a convalescent home, but she kept escaping and also working in restaurants, so it didn't go well.
Yeah.
Oh well, so I guess he's technically convalescing.
I helped Mo Dover make his entry, but I made mine completely on my own. I didn't cheat on my homework.
Mr. Dover with his dessert, but made yours all by yourself? No matter how you look at it, this seems odd. Why didn't Mr. Dover assist you?
It matters not how it seems. It is the truth. I do not know what Sir Dover was thinking. It's hard to prove if someone is lying about something that happened 18 years ago.
What you should have said, Raze, it's hard to prove a negative.
Okay. Does your secret weapon also work as a lie detector?
If it did, I'd already have stolen Mr. Edgeworth's spotlight.
There's no need for that. I will expose this man's lies myself.
It's my spotlight.
Get out of here, Kay. You're the sidekick. Dane Gustavia, please continue with your testimony.
If the flavor of my entry wasn't good enough, my own lack of training was to blame.
Up until the finals, I heard that you received high praise for the flavor of your desserts. Was there some sort of accident during the finals?
Nothing of the sort. Nobody got murdered at all. I simply was unable to taste my work due to my taste disorder. My intuition must have been off. That's all.
Then, was your intuition fine while making Mr. Dover's entry? How could there be such a huge difference between the finals and the previous day?
Ugh.
People make mistakes, Edgeworth.
His kid didn't show up to taste it for him.
That's right. I'm not getting anywhere at this rate.
Yeah, let's not change the topic. Let's
Yeah,
keep
no.
going.
Yeah, keep on keeping on.
I don't think there's any reason to change the topic. Why'd I even ask myself? All those unanswered questions 18 years ago. I should already have the keys that I need to unravel them. I must recall all the information that Mr. Shields and my father gathered. I should look right in my organizer, the evidence.
Ooh, Edgeworth, look in your organizer.
Wonder which statement, though.
Yeah. One chance my own skills. I helped him, but I made mine completely on my own. If the flavor entry wasn't good enough, it was probably this one.
Yeah, because then we could, if we've got anything on his son doing
Coming
the
to
tasting,
visit.
Yeah.
Yeah, up until
There we
the
go.
I'm gonna do a
final.
safety save.
Yes, it's because we beat chess, so
We
it's a
beat
great
chess,
time to
it's a
do a
good time.
safety save. Because also it's one of those where if it's not this statement, then it's another statement.
Right.
Yeah, but I feel like this is it.
Yeah.
It feels right.
Chat, you're forgetting that Ace Attorney did have a working lie detector in Apollo Justice. He had a magic lie detector on his bracelet. And 8-year-old magical girls who functioned as lie detectors also in Apollo Justice that wore top hats.
Oh, nope, didn't count.
Oh, it didn't work.
That didn't work. Dang, okay.
You are clearly bluffing. I was not born yesterday.
Well, I was.
Shall I continue?
So it wasn't the picture of the...
It was not the picture of the children.
Unless there is a different statement that will work on.
Yeah, I'm wondering if we can press him about the semifinals and we can have him be like, my son came to visit me.
Yeah,
During
this-
maybe
maybe.
I need to do that.
Maybe if it turns out that his son is the actual pastry chef, I'm gonna lose my shit. If this man was not the pastry chef and his son was.
Clearly done some amount of work since then to like live up to the lie that he was living.
Whose son is missing? His son or
Both sons.
Both of them.
Both
Both
sons are
sons
missing.
ran away or are missing, yeah. I hope they're not in the freezer too. That's all I'm saying.
So Oh, here we go. So you're sure there wasn't anything different between the semifinals and the finals? Maybe we'll get a new statement out of him.
Yes, that's right.
Wait, that's it?
Aside from
Oh,
not
here.
cooperating with Sir Dover, the finals weren't much different from the semifinals.
Push
We
that
got him.
button. We got him. We got him. Everyone is saying they forgot about Apollo Justice being technically a lie detector. Yes, he's too powerful. That's why they destroyed him. Capcom.
Hey, what the fuck? Get back! Get down those pegs, Apollo! You're not allowed up those pegs!
There
Alright.
was another difference between the semifinals and the finals. This photo depicts your son. We
You
know
remember
he came
your
to visit
son?
your son. We know he came to visit you up until the finals.
Ugh, that is correct. What does that have to do? Why do you have pictures of my children?
Your son, who always came to see you through the semifinals, was not present for the finals.
That you're gonna start leading into like a German accent.
Where is your son? And then, it was only in the finals that your flavor judged poorly. I don't believe this to be a mere coincidence. Your son's visits must have been very important to you, were they not?
A father can work miracles when his son is watching. With my son cheering me on, I was able to make the most delicious desserts.
Mr. Gustavia sure sounds like a good father, doesn't he?
What he's saying is the whole truth. One could say so. But just hearing his son's cheers wouldn't be enough to change the taste of his dessert.
Miles Edgeworth says there's no good fathers in this game series.
A confectioner, confident in his sense of taste, developed a taste disorder. It would have been difficult for him to maintain the taste of his desserts. Your son came to cheer you on. Was that really all he did?
Seem very doubtful, Sir Prosecutor. In that case, I'll turn this around and ask you. What else could my elementary school son have done besides cheer me on?
Yeah, I think it's tasted.
I'm sure your elementary school son would have remembered the taste of your desserts.
Of course, my son always loved my desserts.
In that case, he would have been able to taste test your desserts in your place.
What did you say?
Earlier, you told us that you have a taste disorder. I keep bringing it up, but in case you forgot.
Let's have a flashback.
I've never told this to anyone. Well done. As you say, I developed a taste disorder 18 years ago. I've never told anyone out of fear that they would rub it in my face constantly, every second that I was in conversation.
Mr. Dover had found out he would have ended your partnership. After all, you were in charge of the flavor.
Listen, if the guy I was working with couldn't taste but made things that kept me winning, I wouldn't care.
Yeah, the guy I was cheating on the contest. Like,
Like, if
Yeah.
you kept making me win, that's fine. I don't care. I don't care what your jam is.
yeah, it's true.
Your son didn't just cheer you on. Also helped you determine if your desserts tasted correct.
I see. Mr. Dover's dessert was made the day before, so it still tasted good.
Dot.
What you are saying is quite amusing, Sir Prosecutor. You say that my elementary school son assisted me as a taste tester. You are insulting my pride.
Mm-hmm. Your pride
It's true I had no sense of design 18 years ago. However, I won't lose to anyone when it comes to flavor. Except the time 18 years ago I lost when it came to flavor. You claim I would cast aside my pride and rely on my son. Don't get carried away with your foolish conjecture. You upstart.
You know, in that case, I'm sure your son can confirm that my theory is mere conjecture.
Let me
Let's
just go ahead and
ahead.
rub in your face that he's been missing for 18 years.
Unfortunately for you, I no longer have a son.
What?
After I traded him for a cure. After my taste disorder was cured, I went to train in Zangfa immediately, abandoning my child here in Japan. During that time, I severed all ties with my son.
He was like 8. Why would you do that?
Hey Kay, come back into frame and tell me who sounds like a good daddy now.
What?
Tell me, you would even abandon your own son?
That's not at all. Even today, the whereabouts of his son are still unknown. So he didn't, like, cut all ties and leave him with grandma. He just fucking ditched that kid.
The police have been searching, but they haven't been able to find any traces of him. You wish to confirm your theory? I welcome you to try. Desserts are the only thing I love. After regaining my sense of taste, my son no longer mattered.
Whoa.
Wolfa,
I know we had to do a heel turn on this dude because he's the murderer, but like, holy shit.
He was getting too sympathetic there for a while, so they had to
Woof.
pull back on that one.
Order in the court. Mr. Gustavi's actions are certainly monstrous and inhumane.
Check out this phoenix, though.
However, we are not here to judge whether or not he's a good father.
He's laughing in the background.
It's like, I'm not!
Oh my god. What a big woof.
Chat's like, I guess, like, Chat's basically like, I blocked this part of the game out of my memory because it's too dramatic.
Imagine you're an 8-year-old though with a sense of gourmet taste that you can tell your dad like with specificity how to correct the flavor of his dessert, and then he just tosses you in the garbage can on his way out of town to the airport.
He might be as bad as Magnifique.
We got, yeah, he might be.
Magnifique does shoot himself in the face, which is like the one thing that keeps him a little worse, but like, I don't know. Well, let's finish it. Prosecutor Edgeworth, I believe this is your loss.
After all, there is no evidence left from 18 years ago that could prove your theories.
Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do? At this rate, we'll never find out the truth.
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh yeah, I'm in this game.
Results.
James, Apollo meets this kid and like, first time?
I wonder whose blood it could have been. I've asked for forensics to look into it, sir.
Right. I leave it to you, detective.
See, like, that's a worthy flashback. I forgot about that.
It's been forever.
I entrusted Detective Gumshoe with the last piece of evidence. Only I knew who that blood belonged to.
I kind of don't want to know the answer at this. Miles, there's still one thing that's bothering Uncle Ray.
Just one.
Was Mr. Gustavia's only reason for coming to the art gallery to check on the body?
Only wanted to confirm the body's presence. He wouldn't have needed to open the case.
There's
Yes? What are you thinking?
the kid's dead. And he's in the case too, because there's a shrouded figure holding a harp and a child in there. That's
Interesting theory.
That's right. There's is there a way we can prove this?
There is one way. We just need that evidence from Detective Gumshoe.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, what are you talking about?
Mr. Edgeworth is sorry to keep you waiting, sir. Impeccable timing of, as always, Gumshoe.
Just the person I was talking about.
I did not forget Larry was still here.
You didn't?
I didn't, because I've been thinking, I'm like, when's Larry gonna fucking open his mouth? And he hasn't. I'm so proud of him.
Yeah, all the supporting characters are here. So,
Everybody's here.
just listening to Edgeworth yell about his son. Detective Gumshoe, I trust you have the test results.
Of course, sir. I just got the report back from the lab.
Detective, please be silent. So, this is the evidence that Prosecutor Edgeworth was talking about.
Huh? Hey, what's it? This is the first I heard of it. This was a request from me. I asked him to investigate a certain piece of evidence. But why? Why is everyone always helping you? I'm the one in charge of the crime scene.
This is a fair question.
Mr. Test. I apologize for taking matters into my own hands, but how about we hear his report first? Sure. Second Gumshoe, what were the results?
Here's the report, sir. The traces of blood found in the Gemini sculpture belong to the victim of the poison gas, Dame Gustavia. What are you saying?
Good work, Detective Gumshoe. As I thought, my theory was correct. And it is...
Mr. Edgeworth, what do you mean?
Is it it's his clone?
We, too, would like an explanation. What on earth does this blood prove?
This blood is something the culprit of the IS-7 incident tried to conceal.
It can't be. That's...
This blood was found inside the glass case of the Gemini sculpture. In other words, your blood was found alongside Mr. Dover's body.
No! No!
Why would Mr. Gustavia's blood be in a place like that?
If you intend to remain silent, then I'll reveal the truth myself. In the Gemini case, aside from the blood, we have also found traces of salt and sugar.
Salt and blood.
And only one of Mr. Dover's sherbet desserts tasted salty.
Come to think of it,
I remember Miss Delicious saying the same thing 18 years ago.
Oh, yes, his sherbet was the most delicious.
Really? I wish I could have eaten some too.
But there was one piece that was so salty I couldn't eat it. Salty? It's right here in this photo. It was part of that lyre. That's the lyre from the Gemini constellation.
Exactly. For some reason, salt had been mixed into the lyre. No other traces of salt were found in Dover's room.
In that case, please explain. Where did the salt detect? Where did the salt detected in a lyre come from?
the normalium. Look at the normalium and fatalium because I think it says one of them is salty. Maybe it doesn't.
It's not there. Oh, do you mean the salt lamp?
I think it's the salt lamp, the one that had blood on it.
I think that might be it.
That's a salty thing. Yeah, and we still have it for some fucking reason. So yeah.
Yeah. This is the rock salt lamp used in the murder weapon of the IS-7 incident.
Good eye, Courtney. How the fuck would you know that?
I believe part of this rock salt lamp was mixed in with the sherbet from the lyre. At the time of the murder, there were 2 rock salt lamps in Mr. Master's room. One of those lamps took Mr. Dover's life. Know that Mr. Dover's blood was left behind on the murderous lamp. However, there were no traces of anyone's blood found at the crime scene, Mr. Master's room.
Because the killer disposed of all the desserts with traces of blood into the streams of water, right?
No other traces of salt water were found in Mr. Dover's room.
Ugh. Speaking of which, weren't the 2 rock salt lamps found in Miss Delicious's room also broken?
It looks like both the lamps and the pillars are broken.
Both of their light bulbs are broken.
Maybe they were dropped on the floor. We never did figure out why the other rock salt lamp was broken. Maybe Mr. Gustavia's blood was on the other lamp. Ugh.
If your blood was found on the lamps at the crime scene, you would have been suspected. As the culprit, you would have needed to conceal all traces of your blood from the police.
Don't tell me he concealed it in the sherbet lyre.
Exactly.
That's nasty.
That is nasty.
Rock salt lamp and his blood were mixed into the sherbet lyre and hidden inside the glass case. Unlike the fountain's water, the sherbet desserts would not be analyzed right away. Perhaps he had planned to dispose of the sherbet when the opportunity presented itself.
Oh, Delicia, you ate blood! Then
She's fine. It's been 18 years.
the reason Mr. Gustavia came to this gallery.
18 years ago, the body and the evidence pointing to the killer were both stolen. Even the killer could not have anticipated that. There was no way of knowing when the body and the evidence would be discovered.
So he planned to destroy the evidence before the Zodiac Art Gallery's grand opening. Ugh.
Dame Gustavia, isn't it about time you confessed? You are the true culprit of the IS-7 incident.
Monsieur Gustavia, you're the reason Monsieur Master is...
Dot dot dot.
Mr. Gustavia. Could it be? After all this time, my crime is finally brought to light. A prosecutor and defense attorney 18 years ago never even came close. Bravo, bravo. Well done, Sir Prosecutor.
So you admit that you killed Mr. Dover.
Wahahaha. It is true. I killed Isaac Dover. But he had only himself to blame.
Oh, Scally.
He had it coming.
He had it coming, Scally.
Skelly had it coming too.
You mean? Who's Skelly?
Dover and I worked together in order to win the contest. No matter who won, we agreed that we'd share the angel's recipe. But on the day of the finals, he stabbed me in the back, metaphorically. Or literally, who knows? Sir Dover, this isn't what we agreed to.
Do we ever voice this guy?
I'll do it.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Gustavia. The deal is off. Oh, he's French.
What? But I made your desserts for you. I'm the reason you got this far.
And what of it? Can you prove that you assisted me in any way?
Dover, you were planning to betray me all along. Because of Dover's treachery, I was forced to make my finals entry on my own. It's just as Sir Prosecutor said, my son assisted me every day until the finals.
Pure pride as a confectionery artist.
Thank you, Jams.
Motherfucker, I left my child to rot. I mean, a proud chef loses the ability to taste his creations. That's a feeling an upstart like you would never understand. Mastering the art of dessert making is my reason for being. It is my one and only pride.
Murder for the sake of pride. That's another feeling I will never understand.
Sick burn.
To say nothing of abandoning your own son. Such a thought disgusts me as an abandoned son.
Before you judge me, first understand what happened 18 years ago. On the day of the finals, my son never came to assist me. Thinking back on it now, I suppose Dover had a hand in that as well.
Huh? What exactly happened to your son?
I do not know, but it no longer matters. Ever since I lost that competition because my son didn't show up to eat my candy, my son has meant nothing to me. From what I hear, my mom tells me he's still missing.
Wait a... You fucking suck. Your 8-year-old son went missing, and you just said, fuck that kid, he's no longer my son.
Without your... Oh no, that's Edgar.
Without your son, you had no chance of winning, correct?
Yeah, and since I was guaranteed to lose, I needed a failsafe. During the afternoon tea time, I made my way to Sir Master's room. I just needed to take a photo to cure my taste disorder. It would have worked. It all would have all worked out. If only Dover hadn't interfered.
Gustavia. Trying to steal a picture of my praise, are you? That hardly seems sporting.
You!
You have a taste disorder. Oh, you have a taste disorder, no? This is Rich, a pastry chef who can't taste.
Dover, you! Ah!
Puny worm. You are in no position to impress me.
Why are we trying to make the dead dude more evil than the evil dude?
Why, you? When I attempted to hit Dover for mocking me and my taste disorder, he struck me and sent me flying. I crashed into one of the rock salt lamps, and that was when my blood stained on it.
So Mr. Dover wasn't the first one to be injured.
To conceal my blood, I shaved away part of the rock salt lamp and mixed it into the sherbet. Like a nasty. After that, it became part of the lyre sculpture. So, that's how you tried to erase your traces from the crime scene. Dover tried to blackmail me using his knowledge of my taste disorder. If I didn't want it to become public, I was to pay him a large sum.
So, what's the reason why you killed Isaac Dover?
Ha ha ha! Exactly! What reason do I have to let those who obstruct me live?
That's a real Manfred von Karma thing. He just said,
I was the one who drew first blood. I simply gave him his just desserts.
Hey.
Yay, made a joke.
So that was his motive.
I carried the rock salt lamp that bore my blood into Dover's room. Then I came up with a hiding place where it would not be easily found. I get it. That room contained plenty of tools for sculpting sherbet. Your deduction is spot on, Sir Attorney. It was the ideal place to shave away the rock salt.
Wait, Jam said, I guess Gustavia seems pretty salty. And Jam said sorry.
You should never apologize.
Then I proceeded to coat the surface of the sherbet lyre with vast amounts of the salty mixture. But why? Why did you try to pin the crime on Monsieur Master? You are wrong to blame me for that, Lady Catherine. If not for your unnecessary meddling, Sir Master would never have been a suspect. Why do you think I hid the murder weapon and the fluorescent cloth in Lady Delicia's room? I was clearly trying to frame one person in particular.
There's only one reason why you'd place a murder weapon in someone else's room, to frame them in particular.
Yep. Me?
Yeah, you were eating everything before judging.
Gusty! Why me?
As one who sought to be the world's best confectioner, I greatly respected Sir Master. It was never my intention to cast suspicion on him. But an insolent woman who dared to sully the contest with fake desserts. I had no problem letting someone like you take the blame for the crime.
That makes me sad.
It makes me sad too.
If you hadn't snacked on the other people's desserts, the body would have never been found. It was when Sir Master would be judging Lady Delicia's room. That's when I finally saw an opportunity to freeze the body. But before I could move the body, Lady Catherine had already discovered it. Why did you need to freeze Monsieur Dover's body?
This is a fair question.
Why indeed?
That's it.
Yeah, what? Monsieur Edgeworth, please tell us.
What I know.
Why would Monsieur Gustave? It's your game. Your name's on the game. Why did he want to freeze the body? Should
Create a fake crime scene if you're gonna frame Delicia?
I think so. Yeah, I think creative.
I-
It could be any of the bottom two.
I think Time of Death is a good one because
I mean,
the cold would-
normally.
mess it up, but
Time of Death is my first instinct, but within the context.
Why don't you do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Go,
think we
go
should
with
do
Time of Death.
Mr. Gustavia intended to freeze the body in order to throw off the time of death. The time of death had coincided with the tea party. Mr. Gustavia would have been suspected.
That is correct. Preparations were necessary to freeze the body while I was preparing in Dover's room. I placed the body in the treasure chest in Sir Master's room. I could think of no better hiding place at the time. But thanks to that gluttonous pharmacist, the lid of the chest broke.
But why did you disguise him as an ice sculpture?
Once the body was discovered, there would be no time to throw off the time of death. By time, you needed to hide it someplace else.
How horrid! How could you hide Monsieur Dover's body within one of his own works?
It's a hell of a question for you to ask, Kate.
Yeah.
It all would have worked out if it weren't for you meddling pharmacies, people, women. I'm terrible. If everything had gone according to plan, Sir Master would never have been arrested.
So, because I discovered the body, It's my fault, Monsieur Master? Now, Kate, that's
No.
not what you should take from this.
You
That's
didn't
absolutely the wrong message to take from this.
you didn't murder a man. If you didn't murder a man, nothing of this would have happened.
Kate, that's... Don't take his words to heart. He's a fucking murderer who abandoned his child. Even if for a petty reason. Even if suspicion hadn't fallen on Mr. Master, Miss Delicious would have taken the fall. And I know you tried to frame her not 2 hours ago, but I know you care about her as a person. No matter who he targeted, the one at fault here is Mr. Gustavia himself. The detective in charge of the initial investigation was also a dunce. To think that he never reported the missing body to the prosecutor.
Prosecutor von Karma indicted Mr. Master without knowing the body had vanished. Vanished? The question mark?
I see, that would explain why he looked so flustered at the crime scene. Although, it's something that would stand out if you read the official documents.
Could someone have intentionally distorted the information?
Yes?
At any rate, von Karma found out about the missing body after he had made his indictment. And if he had let one person be acquitted, he'd have a stain on his much-prided perfect record.
I thought we talked about this and we did figure somebody fucked with the documents.
Yeah, we
Yes.
did.
But it's been weeks since then, so we might as well talk about it again. That's why he concealed the fact that the body was hidden and had Mr. Master declared guilty.
What
He
are
would never
you
let a little
saying?
thing like the truth get in the way.
For 18 years, that man has taken the blame for your crimes. Don't you feel anything at all?
Yeah, regret that it wasn't that woman or that woman doing it instead. No, I don't care.
What a monster! I'm arresting him right now, right here, sir.
You can't arrest him. The statute of limitations is up.
But I'm afraid that will be impossible.
Uh-huh.
So, you figured it out. That's correct. You have no right to sentence me.
What? I'm pretty sure I have a book in my evidence that tells me something different. Probably. The culprit is standing right in front of us.
Ah! Allow me to tell you the reason why you can't arrest me.
Oh my god.
Oh,
The reason why you can't arrest me, an essay by me, Gustavia. It has been 18 years since I murdered Dover. The statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years, is it not? In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confessed my crime because the statute of limitations had expired. That's why I fled to Zangfa for
Yep.
15 years.
The statute of limitations for murder is 15 years? Mr. Edgeworth, is there nothing we can do?
you asked that question a lot, Kay.
I'm 15.
Wow, if you had murdered someone when you were born, it would be fine by now.
Unfortunately, 15-year-olds are the perfect age for the question, you mean that the law can be unjust?
That's true, I suppose. As long as the statute of limitations remains, arresting him is impossible.
No way. My sincerest apologies, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Neither Mr. Gustavia's testimony nor your logic can be taken as official legal proof. The verdict of the trial 18 years ago cannot be overturned.
What? What about the fact that Mr. Dover's body was hidden? Even if we can't arrest Mr. Gustavia, they should at least earn Mr. Master a retrial.
Really? I wonder about that. Overturning a verdict of the goddess of law is much harder than you think.
The PIC tried to justify the verdict from 18 years ago?
No, we don't like visiting things again. We have no one. We have 12-year-olds prosecuting. We don't have staff for this kind of shit.
We have to do flashbacks for things that happened 20 minutes ago, so with 18 years.
How unfortunate, Sir Prosecutor.
Is there nothing I can do? Is there no way to continue pursuing Mr. Gustavia?
I guess check the book, huh?
Rebuttal. Why I can totally arrest you by Miles Edgeworth.
Let me see what the book says. Obviously, there's going to be a caveat. I just don't remember what it is. It's after 7 years. The suspect flees to or lives in a foreign country. The time limit is on hold until
It
the
stays.
suspect returns.
Automatic stay. Nice.
Oh, depending for ya, you did something right.
Alright, so now we know what to do, which is present the book to the part where he says,
Yeah, I'm just reading the rest of the bullet points.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it's all frozen. Okay. And back. Okay. It's been 18 years. Statute of limitation. This country is 15 years. In other words, it's impossible for you to arrest me. I only confess because...
there you go. Present it on that one.
Yeah.
Because it has not expired, it was stayed.
Just gonna save real quick, just in case it's dumb.
Should have read Statute of Limitations for Dummies.
You should have read part B of the statute.
Oh, look what's done.
Wasn't that one.
Oh, come on. I feel like it should just be anything in this block of text
Right?
because
Yeah.
You're clearly bluffing. I was not born yesterday.
So maybe the one before this one?
Yeah, he says it's impossible to arrest me.
Yeah.
Right?
Because that's a pretty declarative statement.
Oh my god.
Do I have to press all of these so like he can says a second sentence that sounds exactly like these sentences?
My other thought is where he
Okay.
says the statute of limitations for murder in this country is 15 years.
Yeah, I guess that might be it.
I might do a restart just to get the O'Shit bar points back.
I am hoping that I know
I
that we
think
said
this
we were
is-
gonna, I think this is like the linchpin. I think this is the
it.
end.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so this won't be worth my time then. Okay.
Hopefully.
Because if we prove we can arrest him, that's like, what else has he got?
State's attorney, man, I don't know.
Well, I thought we were gonna be done with this case in half an hour, and it's been an hour and a half.
I mean,
You know how we're almost done with this case works.
Yeah.
that wasn't it either.
What?
Alright, yeah,
There
reset.
must be a press.
There's gotta be a press.
Yeah.
Come on, game.
Just double check. All the sentences. That one was, in other words, it possibly arrest me. I like it best because it expired. And we're like, no, it hasn't.
Okay, blah blah. I can see.
Alright, so he's. Oh, I guess I could read what he says. It's been 13 years. Isn't there some way we can catch him?
Mr. Gustavia is an amateur at law, after all. He's no match for a real ace attorney.
He said it again!
Hey.
I'm sure there's some flaw in his plan that we can exploit.
Yes, but only if we say it at the exact right time. You can't bring it up if you don't.
Okay, let's do a load.
These cases are long, Maddie.
Yeah.
That's not how I load.
This one is definitely the longest in this game, especially because it's 2 cases.
Yeah.
I think that people have also established this is the longest case in the game because it's
Yeah.
2 cases. So
And even for 2 cases, both of them are fairly long cases.
They've introduced this weird fucking plot point about this missing son, and I'm worried that it will be unresolved. Although he may be in the later cases, I guess.
I guess we'll find out.
Fifth one's also super long.
It's 8 and 8's 16, right? So he's gonna be 36 right now. That's Gumshoe's age. Is he Gumshoe?
Better not be Gumshoe.
I guess we'll find out. Anyway, no matter how many years have passed, your sin will never fade.
Sir Prosecutor, I'm sure you must have realized by now I don't give a shit what you think. There's no way you can arrest me. Arresting you would be a piece of cake for someone like Mr. Edgeworth. Isn't that right, sir?
I don't think it will be that simple.
It's impossible for you to arrest me.
Statute of limitations is on.
It's possible that some of your actions 18 years ago were not affected by the statute.
Ugh. It's been so long, I've got nothing left to hide. Ask me anything, AMA. Hit me up on Reddit.
Very well. Could you explain to me what you did during these past 18 years?
Certainly. Oh, we have to get a statement where he says, I've been in Zangfa.
Yeah.
Yeah, even though we already know that.
After we know, yeah.
After the contest, the medicine from the recipe book allowed me to finally cure my taste disorder. I then immediately headed to Zangfa to train my design skills. So, he wasn't seen ever since that case because he was in a foreign country. Indeed, and I'm certain that I went abroad to train. About 1 year after that case, right before Sir Master's final trial began. And thanks to my training, I am now a confectioner unparalleled, both taste and design.
Should not be proud of a position earned through the sacrifices of others.
Since someone would be in his 30s, Michelle, math's a little off. So
Yeah, I said he'd be 36, right?
That's what you
Because
said.
he was 8, and then I did 8 and 8 is 16, and then I added. Sorry, that's how my internal math adding works. Is I add the ones place, and then I add the tens place to what I've gotten.
so James' son wouldn't be in his 30s.
How
wouldn't
old
he be
would he be?
26?
So the DL6, I think I'm on DL7, but took place in 2001. Right now it's 2018 or 2019.
No, because it's been 18 years since the incident. He was 8, so he's 26.
So
Oh, is he 26? So he's not 36. He's 26.
26. So could be Gumshoe.
So he's not Gumshoe. No, Gumshoe's in his 30s at this point.
Chat was just ready to take on this long lost father-son problem.
Sorry, I'm sorry to ruin everyone's day. It's not Gumshoe's dad. It's of course he's Apollo's dad.
We'll see. What if Gumshoe
Apollo's dad
is 26
confirmed. I'm
years
so
old?
mad.
You can't bake an egg without or a cake without breaking a few eggs. Sacrifices were necessary for my goal.
That's horrible.
One of those eggs was my son. The fact remains that you cannot arrest me.
I have to get more information out of Mr. Gustavia. Is there anything of note in his recent testimony?
Is in Zangfa.
I don't know. None of that sounded important. Hey, tell me that thing, but say it in an official way. But like,
Sure.
Add it to your essay.
Afterwards, I trained in Zangfa to become the world's best confectioner.
Do we need to press him to see how long he was in Zangfa?
Maybe.
No, I think we can just. I feel
Apollo
like we
was
can
born
just
in
get him.
2003 or 2004.
Real past future dates is a thing I struggle with constantly in this series.
Yeah, real past future dates, yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna try it. goddess of law.
One of the conditions regarding the statute of limitations for murder is as follows. If the suspect flees to a foreign country, time limit is on hold until the suspect returns. So the statute of limitations was suspended while you were overseas.
That's right! The statute of limitations stops while you were training in Zhangfa. Indeed. It is possible that the statute of limitations has not expired yet. Mr. Gustavia, please tell us how long you stayed in Zhangfa.
It would be exactly 3 years.
3 years?
Wait, let's calmly think this over. Gumshoe cuffs, cuff him. Gumshoe. The case occurred 18 years ago. The statute of limitations is 15 years, and he was away for 3.
15 plus 3 is exactly 18 years. I'm sure
This is
of
how
it.
I should have done my math, you see. Then I would not have gotten it wrong.
Mr. Edgeworth, we did it! The statute of limitations hasn't expired yet. I'm so sorry, Betty, about Jove Justice, the wandering minstrel dying the year of your birth.
Exactly 18 years, you say? How amusing.
So he realized.
Why are you laughing? The statute of limitations still applies.
Okay, it's frustrating, but it expired like yesterday. The case occurred in December. It's April now, which means, strictly speaking, the case occurred 18 years and 4 months ago. His stay abroad wasn't quite enough. We were just a few months short.
Not enough? That's...
Like I said, it's impossible for you to arrest me.
He must have known all about this when he confessed to his crime.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, it really is a shame. If it was just 1 year earlier, the statute of limitations would not have run out. Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdicts must bear the burden of their crimes. It seems you were simply incapable. You were incapable of making this all happen a year sooner? What?
Yeah, time travel's out of your realm, Miles Edgeworth.
This can't be the end.
Monsieur Gustavia really is beyond the law's reach. Kate, what are you thinking? I'll see myself. If you're thinking of taking matters into your own hands, I implore you to reconsider. There still might be a way to bring this man to justice.
Maybe he went on a vacation for 3 months.
What? Miles, remember the facts of the case 18 years ago. Just as you were mistaken earlier, it seems Mr. Gustavia has also overlooked one key detail.
Looked.
He wasn't present during Mr. Masters' final trial, so he doesn't know the outcome of the trial. There may yet be a way for you to arrest him.
Oh, because Masters was tried as an accomplice to murder.
Yeah, Miles, look at that book on statute of limitations again. 17 years ago, Master was falsely declared guilty for a serious crime. Thanks to that verdict, we aren't out of ammunition just yet.
Shields. You don't mean...
Those who undermine the goddess of law's verdict must bear the burden of their crimes. I am Mr. Master's attorney. I can't use his suffering as a weapon in good conscience. For that reason, I leave the rest up to you.
That seems like arbitrary logic, I suppose, but I feel like you would in fact use his suffering as a weapon for this because
you're
he
using
wants
it
Well-
against me.
to stop.
Yeah, it's not like the attorney ethics. He's just saying in good conscience. It's a him problem.
All right. The trial my father and Von Karma battled over, can I use that to arrest Mr. Gustavia? I'm asking the question because the answer is yes. What should I do? Should I raise an objection?
Now
Do you want to play the game or do you want to not play the game?
Daddy? Where's Daddy? My father and Von Karma, their paths diverged. One revealed the truth, the other concealed it. The path that I choose is the one that reveals the truth.
It's what he would do.
I need to buy a hat.
And a trench. I see no further reason to prolong this trial. I hereby find Dan Gustavia not guilty.
Overruled. Gustavia will stand in court for his crimes.
Do you mean to say you have found a way to arrest Mr. Gustavia? Please, I hate him so much.
Exactly, and I'm surprised you don't know about it as an expert on the law. I'll show Judge Courtney the evidence that will shatter the statute of limitations.
Is
I
it?
think it's the old case,
Oh,
but let's look at it.
let's see.
This is what Ray said to look at.
Time of death, crime scene, murder weapon, prosecutor, just tone's attorney, station ran out December 30, December, almost Christmas, 3 years ago. After his confession, he was convicted as an accomplice to the murder. Because the victim's eye advantage, there appears to be no autopsy warrant. Oops. Is that the true reason? There's the body. So ours does say
Yeah.
accomplice.
Does say
So-
accomplice.
Why don't we check the evidence book again?
Yeah. It's gonna take a long time to do that. Let's go this way. Just check right
Because we
now.
might have to submit the book and then submit what supports the book. You know how his attorney
Or
gets.
the other way around, maybe. So.
If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached and then resumes. So because the master's trial lasted 1 year, the statute of limitations didn't start actually until he was fully convicted, and then it was delayed 3 additional years. So actually, we in the zone. So I don't want to present the book on statute of limitations because the statement here is this evidence will shatter the statute of limitations.
Right, so it's probably
Okay, I
this,
suppose.
right?
So try this one, and then they're gonna be like, "Why does that work?" And then we'll do the.
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Okay.
Which page are
Shit.
you going
It has sections.
to? Oh, hold on.
Well, we can look at it.
Okay.
Sometimes they don't let us look at it. So the
That's
first
true.
case summary. I think it's the
Suspect
case summary.
data.
Is it?
Suspect data has the
Suspect data, sorry. Okay.
yeah
Accomplice, yeah.
the magic word that we're looking for.
Yeah. Suspect data.
The suspect data page. At the trial, Jeffrey Master was found guilty of being an accomplice to murder. And it took 1 year to arrive at this verdict.
Right. That is indeed true.
Book lists conditions in which the statute of limitations can be put on hold. The first, as I have said earlier, is if the suspect flees to a foreign country. But there's one more. If possible accomplices are on trial, the countdown is stopped until the verdict is reached.
What are you saying? Sir Master was found to be an accomplice? That's right. Mr. Master was sentenced after you had left for your trip to Zhangfa. And he was found guilty not of being the culprit, but of being an accomplice. But it seems you didn't know that. That's absurd! Sir Master never committed any crime to begin with. You should certainly know that.
Of course we do. That is why we're going to free him. To that end, we will shatter the one remaining obstacle in our way. You! The statute of limitations!
Nobody is telling Gumshoe to cuff this man.
You fled to Zhangfa for 3 years. And Jeffrey Master was being tried as an accomplice for 1 year. Put it all together, we see that the total time limit for this case is 19 years. In other words, the statute of limitations is not over for you yet.
Fuck. The goddess of law is unhearing in her judgments. However, it seems that the prosecutor at the time was not. I cannot believe it, but it seems like the case will have to be reopened.
Manfred's spinning in his grave.
Good.
This is absurd! You cannot arrest me! For the last 18 years, an innocent man has suffered greatly in your stead. Mr. Gustavia, it's now time for you to atone for your crimes.
Don't bow to him.
I had finally earned my place as the greatest confectioner in the world. To achieve that goal, I cast everything aside, even my own son.
And no one is proud.
And I did a murder.
Yeah, what a shame. You can't run from your crimes any longer.
Ugh. Ugh. No.
Fascinating.
I was wondering if we were not going to get a break animation for him, and then we got that weird self-own thing.
Dane Gustavia has been taken into custody, sir.
Yeah, so you're up next, right?
Yes, I understand.
Don't look at me.
Kate.
Everyone, I am truly sorry for all the trouble I've caused. And thank you very much for catching Monsieur Gustavia.
Did could not be overlooked. Even if the crimes you committed were in response to a past injustice. As a prosecutor, I am terribly sorry for what happened.
No, I'm only getting what I deserve, since I was the cause of all this.
Kate, will you have me as your attorney? I'm not quite the same useless kid I was 18 years ago. I won't let them find you guilty.
I just closed the case.
Hmm.
Oh, she's Miyazaki crying.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Monsieur Shield, yes, thank you so much. Don't hug.
That was some weird flirt energy I wasn't okay
Yeah, it was
with.
weird flirt energy, but also like, she's like, I'm super guilty. I'm very, very guilty. And he's like, I'm not gonna let them find you guilty.
Sorry to interrupt, but your weird flirt energy is giving me the heebies, so let's get a move on.
Yes, all right.
Emulator, please don't savor this moment. I have to voice Larry soon. I feel it in my bones.
You're gonna have to voice Larry soon. Everyone's gonna say goodbye one by one.
Yep. Thanks for coming to the party. Oh my god, it's so nice to see you.
Judge Courtney, I can't help but feel that you've been dishonest with me.
Dishonest? Whatever do you mean?
You said that the verdict could not be overturned, but that was not the case. A reinvestigation and retrial were obviously required as soon as the missing body was found.
I have no need to answer you.
It seems she doesn't intend to ever give me an answer. She just said that, and I believe her.
Prosecutor Edgeworth, the PIC has its sights, has you in its sights. They will receive a report on everything you did here today, and you will most likely be required to appear before them. Now then, I shall take my leave. Hold on! Mr. Edgeworth caught the real bad guy! Didn't he do his job as a prosecutor?
No matter how things turn out, I will never regret what I did here today.
Mr. Edgeworth.
Hey, Prosecutor Edgeworth. What is it? Why are you always sticking your nose into cases that you're not even involved with? My duty is to reveal the truth.
My daddy did this. This is my daddy's case.
Not only as a prosecutor, it's just who I am.
Because of him. And him.
Oh, get it. As long as you continue to think that being the best is all that matters, I doubt you ever will. Well, I don't get that either. I'm going home.
What was that all about? Why do people ship me with him?
There is much he still needs to learn. Wait, do people ship those?
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
What the hell?
Miley!
What is it?
I knew Gregory's son could do it. I think I might be falling for you. Thanks for helping, Jeffy.
Well,
Yo, Edgy! Great job solving that case! Well, I was busy drawing, so I really didn't catch all of it. Huh. Where did Katie and Justy run off to? Lois, you really weren't paying much attention at all, were you?
... Well, I hate to admit it, but Larry's Doodles actually helped us out a few times. I should say something nice to him.
Don't glare at me like that! I'm sorry!
It was not my intent to glare at you.
That patented Edgeworth glare. You're just like your old man.
They did laugh.
Is that so?
Well then, Uncle Ray's gonna go pay Mr. Master a visit and bail Kate out of jail. You guys want to take along?
I'd be happy to accompany you.
Oh, me too.
Oh, we're still going?
Oh, April
I
2nd?
like how he's like,
This is-
he's like, I should say something nice to Larry, and then he doesn't.
I had hoped we'd get to pick what to say and that they were all gonna be mean.
Yeah, me too.
Well, yeah, we got to talk to Mr. Master now.
So, this Jeffrey Masters, what's he like?
Oh, he's a really nice and gentle guy. He's still doing his best to make people happy.
He actually cooks desserts for the inmates. Nowadays, all the prisoners and the guards look forward to snack time at 3 o'clock.
It's just like
Wow.
Paddington.
That's nice. I want to eat his desserts too.
Is Masters dead? Is that the next case? Another prison murder?
Oh boy.
So the chocolate cake we saw in prison the other day, he was the one who made it?
I don't remember seeing
Quick,
chocolate.
who's Masters' prison pet? What kind of prison pet does Master have?
A chocolate lab?
Hey, there it is.
Hey.
Okay.
I trust Claire TM.
Oh, good. He's alive.
Ooh.
For now.
Oh, Gummy, why are you here?
I work here on my cat. I heard everybody was coming to visit, so I escorted Mr. Master myself.
Hello, one and all. I am Jeffrey Master. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth at your service.
And I'm Mr. Edgeworth's assistant, Kay Faraday.
Ho ho! It is a pleasure to meet you all.
Mr. Master, Miles is your old defense attorney's son.
You mean Mr. Gregory's? Your father has done so much for me. And yet, I betrayed his good faith when I made the false confession. I've heard the details from Mr. Shields.
Mr. Master, I came here today to tell you everything we've learned about 18 years ago.
18 years ago?
It's a doozy. Get a load of this.
Kate committed a crime for my sake? Why would she do such a thing?
Miss Hall has been trying to prove your innocence for the past 18 years. She was willing to do whatever it took to save you.
Kate, she shouldn't have gone through so much trouble for an old man who let her down. Mr. Master, I don't think you realize just how much Miss Hall cares for you. I have something here that clearly proves the two of you share an unbreakable bond.
Is it the pocket chocolate?
That's all I can think of.
An unbreakable bond? Proof of the bond between Jeffrey Master and Catherine Hall. This should give Mr. Master some peace of mind.
It's gotta be pocket chocolate, right?
It's gotta be pocket chocolate.
But that's so disappointing.
These chocolates. Did Kate make them? She did.
They're really sweet and tasty.
She's been making these chocolates for the past 18 years. So that she could give them to you whenever you returned. Kate.
Oh, Mr. Master.
I'm sure they are very, very sweet. Yes. They truly are. Unfortunately, I cannot give them to you now. But
I can hand them over later in secret, pal.
it is against the rules, but right now I don't have the authority to stop him. Oh, thank you very much. Say, you remind me of an old friend. You know of a Detective Bad?
Of course I do. Detective Bad is my #1 role model, pal.
That's so good.
How uncanny. Talk about fate.
Mr. Master, it's looking like we'll be able to get you out soon. I can only apologize that it took 18 years to do so. See, bow to him. Don't bow to the murderer.
Raymond. I'm the one who should be apologizing and bowing. No, that's not it. What I really should be saying is thank you.
Aw. Mr. Master,
Now it's my turn. to wait for Kate. I'll make her favorite sweets every day until she returns. Please look after her, Raymond.
I don't know if she's gonna return when her crime is stealing a body and freezing it for 18 years. I don't really know what the laws are for that one.
I don't either. As Jam said, it's like everyone is just gonna be trading dusty 18-year-old chocolate back and forth. Shitty melted pocket chocolate. You got it.
The IS-7 incident. The case I inherited from my daddy.
That's right.
After 18 long years, it's finally coming to a close.
And I helped.
Miles, thanks for today. I am sorry for leaving that final decision to you.
No, I made that decision of my own free will.
Huh? What are you talking about?
To arrest Gustavia, we had no choice but to use Mr. Masters' false charge. To use Mr. Masters' false charge, which I was originally supposed to protect him from, the attorney inside of me simply could not do it.
So that's how it was.
But after this, Uncle Ray is going to try to clear away that false charge as well.
Yes, I understand.
What? But if they find out about the false charge, they won't be able to arrest Mr. Gustavia, right?
That's true.
I don't think that's how it works, though, actually.
It sure is a contradiction in the law.
Well, yeah, they're saying that it like is only on hold. They just that doesn't make sense.
So because what paper we had said he was an accomplice, where the actual like filed ruling that the court has said that he was a murderer, right? And that's the one that Manfred doctored, but there's no proof.
Well,
of that.
the way that Manfred doctored it was to say that he was that the body was present and that the autopsy happened. I didn't think that he changed the ultimate charge.
I think there
It's
was a
like-
change in that charge.
I think that is true.
So
But even still, like, those charges were, like, they made the charge even though it was unjust. So even if they get it overruled now, that doesn't mean that he wasn't charged at the time. Like, that doesn't undo the statute of limitations problem.
I just don't remember which is like the one that is the actual like true ruling is the one Ray had, or if it was the one that Manfred doctored, so they're gonna believe that one. So,
I think
It's a good question.
accomplice was the real ruling because there's no way that Manfred would settle for accomplice. So he definitely would have
changed
faked
it to murderer.
Changed
faked
it
it up
to
to real
murder.
murder.
Right. So I think proving that discrepancy is really what the problem would be here. And then if they're
'Cause
like,
that's all based on the fact that the body wasn't found.
right. So
And yeah, but I mean, I think Kevin's point still stands, which is that like the charge, it doesn't have to be that he was ultimately found guilty as an accomplice. If he was charged as an accomplice, that stays the statute of limitations for some amount of time until the
Yeah.
charge switches to murder or not, right? So as long as that time was more than 3 months, we can still arrest Gustavia. But they're saying because the charge was false, all of that gets wiped away in terms of the statute of limitations and Gustavia walks free. And that's the dumbest shit I've ever heard in my life.
which is like what Ray's
To be
saying right
fair-
now is this law, our laws are dumb because this man passed statute of limitation by 4 months and we can't arrest him.
Yeah.
So
What do you say, Kevin?
To be fair, from the beginning, I'm not sure how the logic on the statute of limitations thing works because the him being on trial and Dane Gustavia being in Zangfa were concurrent, right? And it's not like those two things stacked on top of each other. That's how
No,
they're
he
treating.
left the day before the trial, the final day of trial. They weren't concurrent. Dane Gustavia said he stayed in the country for up until the day before
Oh, I
Yeah.
get it.
Masters'
Okay.
trial, and then
So he-
Masters' trial happened, and he was on the plane to Zanzibar.
Okay, so that first year he was in Japanifornia, but the
Yeah.
trial was ongoing. Okay, now I get it. Never mind. Well, either way, overturning this bad ruling shouldn't undo the fact that it was happening at the time.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I don't know. This
It's
is
just
all.
Japanifornia, and we played all of us have played these attorney games. They're willing to throw the whole court case out and find someone guilty or not
The
guilty.
law is bad. Yeah,
Immediately.
their laws are bad.
Yeah,
The way the law is right now, it isn't completely right.
it's fucked. Contradiction in the law.
Well, who knows what'll happen? The law evolves and grows, just like all of us do. Just like Uncle Ray and Miles have grown up, you know?
People and the law both grow.
Miles, to fight crime as a prosecutor or to save people as a defense attorney, I want you to think carefully about how you want to live your life from now on.
I will.
Well, if you ask Uncle Ray, you'll always be welcome down at the office. Alrighty then. Looks like it's time for Uncle Ray to get going. As slowly as possible. Next time I see you, I'll be sure to thank you again. Really though, thanks for today. See you later, Gummy.
Mr. Shields seemed to be in a bit of a hurry.
Indeed. I should be the one thanking him. I was able to face my father's last case because of him. When I was young, I wanted to become a great defense attorney like my daddy.
Are we gonna reuse that one picture?
I
For
was
the-
just singing Black
you bet
Parade
we're
in my
gonna
head.
do it.
When I was a young boy.
However, under Prosecutor Von Karma, I learned the ways of a prosecutor. Thanks to a certain friend, I was able to thanks to a certain friend, I was able to discover my own path in life. I won't say who.
It was me, right,
However,
pal?
Yeah, it was me. We're
Right
besties.
Right now, there are forces trying to take me off the prosecutor's path.
Oh, he said the thing.
Maybe now is the perfect time to think about how I should live my life.
Eh? Oh my god!
We're still going. It's been 2 hours, over 2 hours. Gregory, I'm sorry that it took so long. Do we get to see the Gregory Shrine? We do. It may have taken 18 years, but finally we've proven Mr. Master's innocence. Miles, your son, helped me with that. The way he fought for the truth. He was just like you, Gregory. I can't believe you didn't eat it, Ray.
I'm so
still
proud.
not the kind of attorney you were. But I will forever carry on the convictions I inherited from you. And, if I can, together with him.
He immediately went out and bought a frame.
He got
where
that
just
frame.
had
He got
it.
that frame like on his way home.
Or he had an empty one waiting. Like, it's one of the two.
Oh yeah, maybe.
Oh, sorry.
The path I choose is to be continued.
CBC.
The end.
We did it. We did it, fam. We made it. The dad vibes I'm getting off of Ray, that your parents want you to do this profession vibes are like very strong. Ray was like, I hate you, Miles Edgeworth. And he was like, I need you to come work in my office now. It's what your daddy would have wanted. And I know I've ignored you for these 18 long years, but you have to work for me now.
Yep.
It is very cute. I mean, it's cute.
Oh, we did it. We did the longest turnabout. At least that's what it feels like when you read them out loud.
Right.
I think so.
We should probably call it.
Oh, we
Oh, for
definitely
sure.
calling it.
Yeah, because I thought we were gonna do half an hour and then move into this one, but no, we
Nope.
didn't.
No.
But we can get into case 4 next time.
We will definitely do that next time. And of course, stay tuned for the podcast when we probably break this case up into multi-episodes to summarize.
Yeah, maybe that'll be. It's the 7th. Don't make me think of this month's episode.
No, I can't think that far ahead. But you know what? You guys were here. You can send us emails. Tell us what you thought.
Yeah. While your thoughts are fresh, email them to objecttothispodcast@gmail.com.
Good night, RD.
Good night.
Good night.
Also, Jams, go to bed. Everyone go to bed.
Everyone go to bed.
We're going to bed. Send us emails. We'll see you next Friday. Episode dropped last week or whatever. Anyway, that was Object to This, so why don't you object to that?